Hey everyone, welcome back to Decks Built Quick. John and I'm joined with Snaganoff this week.
How you guys doing?
We got an interesting match this week.
That's right. You know, the format this week is Sadie Hawkins dance. Not the girls don't ask the guys, but your opponent chooses the main character you play in your deck.
That definitely was weird the whole day.
It was very strange. How we're going to do it for the draft
Okay.
is both players will end up picking 5 MCs.
Okay.
You will then build 3 decks, and your opponent will blind pick an MC that you will play for that deck. So you end up not playing 2 of your MCs.
Okay.
And best 2 out of 3 wins.
So my deck needs to be ready to play any of my 5 MCs.
Unless, you know what, there's a lot of opportunities for mind games in this format. Because
Okay.
if you can accurately predict what your opponent's going to hand you, then you have a big advantage. But if you whiff, or if they swerve, you're out of luck.
Okay. Yeah, this is going to be definitely an interesting format for
Very
sure.
much so. So let's meet our competitors this week.
Okay. First, we've got Cody coming back.
Coming back round 2.
So what do we got for Cody's little profile? We know a little bit about Cody already.
He likes chicken. Which who doesn't really like chicken?
That's
I wonder what kind of, like, how he likes his chicken.
Probably fried.
Probably. I mean, yeah.
Who doesn't?
But, like, grilled can be nice,
Ooh,
too.
grilled's really good.
And then his hometown is the streets.
That's not a town.
You know, it's every town.
Every time we ask him a question, it's like just one question.
He just can't.
Just
he
one.
can't take it
That's
seriously.
all I need is one.
And then our newest competitor, the Black Hurricane. He has crossed out likes and written in dislikes. Build better. How does that make you feel, John? He dislikes basically you.
Hold on. Like, why would you? Why would you join our league if you don't like us?
I don't know. Maybe he wants to tear it apart from the inside. And then his hometown is parts unknown.
All right.
And then we had other questions on the questionnaire for these guys this week, and they didn't fill them out. Both of them. They both answered those 2 questions specifically, and didn't fill out the rest.
These guys probably talk to each other.
They might. Who knows? Maybe there's some collusion going in week number 3.
This would be an interesting one.
Very much so.
So I think we're about ready for the draft.
Yeah, let's go ahead and head down there and see what the picks end up being.
Still recording.
All right, now we're heading down to the draft, and once again, 1 MC from each of the 16 teams.
All right, let's run through them a little bit less organized this time.
Yeah.
We got the Falconeer, Green Goblin, Bear Mordo, the Queen, Sister Grimm, Enchantress.
Harrigan, who just got banned out by Cody.
Okay. Gamora, Goom, Storm, Daredevil, Lieutenant Ripley, Crystal, Leviathan Mother, Hulk, and Miss Marvel.
So interesting thing here also, because every character will end up being picked or banned, the Black Hurricane, because he was the top seed coming in, got to pick whether he would get first pick or first ban.
Okay.
He chose first pick, so it's going to go ban for Cody, ban for Black Hurricane, pick for Black Hurricane, pick for Cody, and it's going to go snake from there on.
Okay.
So each person will either have 2 picks in a row or a pick and a ban,
so
heading over to the other
take
person.
turns.
Yes. So
Sister Grimm band there. It's probably because Cody is
he's known for his Sister Grimm play.
Yeah,
and then Crystal was picked for the Black Hurricane, and then Lieutenant Ripley handed to the Black Hurricane, followed by a Hulk draft for Cody.
These guys are going quick on the draft.
Yeah. They know what they want.
Interesting that you hand off on your first pick.
You know, but when you're picking back to back like that, you can do it. I mean, essentially, it's the first pick and your second pick are like flip.
That's fair.
That's fair. You know.
I guess that is probably one of the key times that you'd want to do that.
Yeah, when you've got those 2 picks back to back. So now we're going to get a ban, and then a pick for the Black Hurricane. Looks like the ban's going to be Enchantress. Oh, and then thought better of it.
Looks like they're on. He gets a pick. Black Hurricane has a pick here.
Oh, it's a pick and then a ban.
Yeah.
My apologies. And so he's going to pick Enchantress, it looks like.
Yeah.
Already has 3 MCs. Cody's 1. So gives some advantage there to Cody for information going through the rest of the draft.
It does. Man. So what's your strategy going into a draft like this?
You know, it's interesting because you're going to assume, because your opponent's handing you your characters and you're drafting 2 more characters you're going to play, I think you have to assume you're not going to get to play your strongest characters.
Probably your 2 best characters aren't going to get played.
Right.
The one they give you, you're probably playing.
But there's some interesting things with that, because what if it's a bait? again, if you're able to predict what your opponent gives you, you get a big advantage going in to playing.
Okay.
But what if
Daredevil band here.
you give your opponent something,
Okay.
and it's a bait, and they assume they're going to play it probably round 1, and then you swerve and you never give it to them, and the deck that they built specifically for that just gets wasted.
Okay. So if you think you can read your opponent enough, you can have a huge advantage in this format.
Right.
Interesting. So we got a...
I believe it's Cody's pick, and he was hovering on Leviathan Mother and then chose Green Goblin for his pick.
Green Goblin is traditionally not really a great character, right?
But, I mean, we're getting down to somewhat slim pickings here. There is some strong stuff still on the board. Storm is traditionally strong. I think Falconer's pretty insane. Gamora's not bad either. Leviathan Mother, if you're able to predict when she's given to you, can also be very strong.
Right, because you could actually have the Leviathan deck.
One thing he may be looking at, though, is just main characters that can level up no matter what deck. So, like, Green Goblin, he has to... enemy characters have to get wounded, correct?
Stunned, yes.
Stunned, yes. So, that will typically happen no matter what kind of deck you end up playing.
Alright, Black Hurricane's going to take Miss Marvel.
Yeah. Whereas,
I know you've been tinkering Miss Marvel lately.
Yeah. It's interesting here because, again, she kind of has to have things built around her to level.
The same with the Queen that was just handed over to Cody. Right. I feel like there's more things that affect Miss Marvel than there are that affect the Queen, though.
Yeah, there's more. Kinda. Like, I mean, even with Miss Marvel, you've got Savage Surprise. You can shock her and when she gains the attack back as she levels, or she gains experience. Things of that nature. Looks like Leviathan Mother pick for Cody.
That's interesting, because so now you have 2 decks, and he banned Goom.
Yes.
You have 2 picks that your opponent can give to you that level up completely different ways.
Right.
So, like...
But maybe Cody thinks he's got the beat on Black Hurricane, knows what he's going to give him when, and thinks he can build the decks for it.
Man.
Or maybe he thinks he's just got strong enough decks that it doesn't matter what the MC is.
That's true. Like, this is like... I'm glad I'm not down there. This would be stressful.
Falconer band, then a Storm pick, followed by a Gamora pick that's going to get us set up for both sides. So the Black Hurricane's got Enchantress, Lieutenant Ripley, Crystal, Miss Marvel, and Storm.
And then we've got Cody over here with the Hulk, Green Goblin, the Queen, Leviathan Mother, and
Gamora.
Gamora closing it out. So, man, I want to note that it was pretty interesting that because the Black Hurricane chose not to pick first, he chose not to ban first.
Not to ban first. He still picked first.
He got the last pick while there's still choices.
Right. And then
Cody
shafted
was
Cody
forced.
Yeah.
So it's almost like the Black Hurricane got to give Cody 2 characters.
True.
So,
but I mean, Gamora is not the worst character. Gamora, I would argue, Gamora wasn't even the worst character on the board.
Of
like the 16.
Okay. Yeah. No. Definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not. So,
of the like between Storm and Gamora, yeah, Gamora's the worst choice. Storm's like actually really good.
Yeah, and like I feel like Storm's really strong in this style of format because it's easy to put characters in your deck that can use their powers, right? So,
and I mean, typically you want to play characters with superpowers anyway. So like, you can build. There's so many different ways you can approach this. You can guess what your opponent's going to give you and build to that. You can try to build generic decks that will level your main characters either way. So, like with Black Hurricane's Crystal deck, he can put all 4 of those colors in all 3 of his decks, just in case it's given to him. Although I would assume the Crystal's not going to get given to him. She's bonkers.
Yeah, that's the card's like, especially if you're making a broad generic deck, right? Right. That it would be easy for her to level up and then use her power a couple times. Like, she can run away with a game.
Yeah.
Also, it being his first pick, like, you know he wants to play it.
Right.
So, looking at these MCs, because you can't tell yet because we're still building, who right now, based off MCs alone, has the advantage?
It's tough. I think I give the slight advantage to the Black Hurricane. Okay. I think overall his picks are stronger. Okay. But that's part of going first. But again, Cody can make up a lot of ground by just predicting. By predicting and swerving. If he thinks, like we just talked about how we don't think he'll give him Crystal. What if he swerves and gives him Crystal? And Black Hurricane's just not ready for it.
Because he just assumes that...
he's not getting it, and then he can't level his crystal. And then you're stuck with like a 2/4 with flight and ranged on the board for the rest of the game. Which is good in the early game, but I mean, there's a reason why they go up to level 2. They're trying to get to level 2.
True. Like, the improved stats are really going to help you survive that mid game.
Right.
Oh man, this is pretty exciting.
I mean, you're speechless.
I can't wait to get to the
You can't even articulate his thoughts.
I cannot, like, this, like, it's exciting because there's so much you don't, like, it's hard to, like, project and talk about, like, what could happen, like, what the matchups could be, because you have no idea.
Right.
Like, there are 10 MCs, if any of these 5 could match up with any of these 5.
The potential's endless.
And if this one might be stronger MC, but he got stuck with the bad deck for that MC that was built, while this MC might be the worser of the two, but it got paired up with the good deck.
Right.
Like, this would be stressful.
Very interesting.
I think we should go ahead and probably round it out there.
I agree. Who do you give it to? Who do you think is going to come out on top of the victory?
This format, I can't even on this format. Like, I can't keep up. I'm having after the draft and like knowing like they could build anything.
Right.
I don't know who to give it to.
I think the Black Hurricane won the draft, but from what I've seen of Cody's play, I think he's gonna be trixier. He's gonna have the stuff. He's gonna have he's gonna zig when everyone thinks he's gonna zag.
Okay.
And he's gonna use his wiles to bring it home. And if there's ever a format to be wily, it is this one.
And if there's ever a person, like, based off like the player profiles alone, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is definitely the one you can't read this guy.
Right. And he's in the finals for a reason. He's made the finals twice for a reason. He's a very good player. So
definitely gonna be interesting. All right, guys. Well, we will see you next time when we start round 1. All right, and we finished deck construction.
Right.
What are your thoughts? You got to go down there and mess around a little bit while they were building. What are your thoughts about their decks?
You know, it's interesting. Both of them kind of went, I feel like a lot of comfort picks. Okay. Like, Black Hurricane built a mono Prey deck. I know he's been playing Prey a lot.
Right.
So he really likes that. Whereas Cody, he built both a Deep Freeze deck, which he's played in the past. Basically, it doesn't even matter what his MC is with that deck. I think he's just going to play it. Right. And then he also built like an Inhumans Crime Lords deck, where both of those factions are like stuff he's very
right. I'm
versatile.
Pretty sure we've seen him play Inhumans Crime Lords like in the last league or in the last championship rounds.
Maybe
not together, but he's played both of those teams. It looks like Black Hurricane has an evil deck and a
fitting in with the theme. Wonder if he ran crossbows in that with the. Why don't we head down and find out what the guys are going to play on the first in the first match?
Looks like they're almost ready.
Yeah. What's going to happen here is they both have selected their own decks, and now they will select their opponent's MCs.
Okay, so we got the Black Hurricane on the left here, and we have Cody on the right.
And also, Cody finished deck construction first. Where before it is giving you priority with picking decks, here it's going to allow you to pick priority in the first game.
Right, because you don't know what deck to pick.
Right,
everything's
it would just
blind.
it would just be a random pile of sleeves.
So Cody gets to choose who goes first and who goes second.
Right. So as we reveal the MCs, first Black Hurricane's gonna cut the deck. Fitting that we have a black sleeves and a white sleeves matchup here. Cody's just going to draw his cards. He doesn't even want to know.
What deck do you think each of these guys is on?
I feel like they both probably just picked what they felt was their strongest deck.
Right. All right. So we got a Ripley deck.
Which would be interesting if Black Hurricane went with his Prey deck, which would run the miniguns, and probably the only deck that has the miniguns in it. And Cody has got Gamora, which if he gets his Guardians Defenders deck, could be really, really good with it. But
they have the on-team plot twist, right? So,
again, just the mind games here were incredible.
Right.
Like, if Black Hurricane played his Prey deck, and he did it specifically because he felt Lieutenant Ripley was the pick he was going to get. Yeah. That's a really good read. Now, if he's only got 4 miniguns in there, is he going to be able to get 3 of them to be able to level up during the course of the game? Who knows?
Ripley is the deck that Cody gave to the Black Hurricane.
Right. Or is the main character.
Gamora is pseudo the character that...
Yeah.
The black that's the
shaft draft.
Shaft draft, right?
Yeah.
So Avengers, this is probably...
It's probably Deep Freeze.
Probably, yeah, because I don't Guardians and Crime Lords.
Because it's the Valkyrie loop, right? It's either Iceman or it's Black Widow or it's Wasp, like any of the 3.
So,
putting on our level 2 character.
So it looks like we have the whole Deep Freeze deck versus we're gonna get slow rolled here.
Yeah, there's not a lot of action going on this first turn.
What do we got here? That doesn't tell us what we're playing.
No, it's red. I thought it was.
You're probably playing all the colors and all the decks, right?
Likely for the crystal, just in case. Just like
case.
The possibility of crystal. If this is Prey and it's Hawkins, it's his Prey deck.
Okay,
that's
all right.
A brilliant read by the Black Hurricane. We'll see if it pays off, but he's at least shading in the right direction.
All right, we got this team attack.
Just a safe team attack into the Black Widow.
Yeah, I guess you have the leader, right? And so, just in case there is, a Savage Surprise or something.
Interesting choice here. Think again on the Black Widow.
How crucial to the straight... Well, maybe he's worried about getting rushed down with only the 5 wounds.
Maybe, but, you only have so many Think-Agains in the deck. And, Black Widow is not the thing you need to save. And then to think again the Black Widow and then play the Black Widow the very next turn, that can't be right.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That just...
Maybe he drew it, though.
Maybe he did, but even so, I fail to see a place and time where the 1-drop Black Widow is valuable enough to save with a Think Again.
Right.
And, the team attack into the Black Widow is basically a Think Again in and of itself.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah, definitely.
And then probably just running it back here once again.
Black's just going to go... Nope. Maybe not.
He did miss his 2-drop here as well. Unless he feels like he wants to rewind.
I'm trying to look at something.
Oh, he couldn't see me on the... and then the solo attack into the Black Widow. Let's see if Cody wastes another Think Again trying to save this Black Widow. And he does. Cody, man, I'm rooting for you. But, you can't be using 2 Think Agains to save a 1-drop Black Widow.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he thinks that, he can just freeze him out if he keeps the early turn. I don't know. Yeah. That's a little odd to me.
Yeah. I did like he couldn't see me to remove the -1/-1 counter from the Lieutenant Ripley, though. That was fun.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. That's not really a use that you see for that card.
Right.
Yeah, you get to hide them, but, I didn't think about that. Now that when we recover, you're probably not going to be able to stun her.
Right.
Unless you develop your board better.
Well, it's turn 3. One would hope that Cody's got a 3-drop, but so far he hasn't played one.
Ugh, no 3-drop.
No 3-drop and pass the turn.
Alright, let's see what the old Hurricane can get us.
Interesting that he hasn't tried to do anything with Gamora, trying to get in there, get the stuns, trying to level up with Gamora. I mean,
Gamora has to stun an MC.
Right.
And so, we'd have to have some sort of pump, right?
But, I mean, we're playing Avengers. I'd assume there's at least some number of Earth's Mightiest Heroes in the deck.
That's fair, yeah.
Which is a pretty darn good plot twist, even in and of itself.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have a play. Maybe. We'll see.
I think both of these guys are allergic to playing cards, so...
Yeah, they gotta slow it down. That's a Blaine. That guy has seen a couple decks in this.
And you know what? He always feels good.
Drawing cards, right?
Yeah, drawing cards, 2 wounds, plus he's a 3/3 with range on 3. He's so versatile in what he can do. He can be offensive if you need him to be offensive. He can be defensive if you need him to be defensive.
Yeah. Man.
And looks like we're going with the... moving him to the back row and not making attacks seems strange, but maybe we aren't making attacks.
Okay. We are going into Black Widow.
Gamora has 4 health or 3 health?
She is a 3/4.
Okay. There's a stuff happens onto the Black Widow. didn't seem entirely necessary there, seeing as how Hawkins gets the free stun.
Probably trying to avoid, like, we've seen a lot of Avenger plot twists.
Yeah.
Maybe we're trying to avoid Earth's Mightiest.
But, like, once again, if he Earth's Mightiest there, I'm fine with it.
That's true.
Like, I feel like these guys are spending a lot of cards to save their 1-drops that aren't all that necessary to the board. And then Black Hurricane tried to team attack into Gamora. Blaine and Lieutenant Ripley cannot team attack together, seeing as how they do not share a team affiliation.
Yep, that's awkward. I didn't catch that. We were talking about the happening of the stuff. So, turn 4.
One would hope Cody has got characters to play here. Starhawk seems really good. I don't know if Starhawk is running Deep Freeze, but Starhawk seems like a fine 4-drop. Avengers-wise, Captain Britain obviously is the best 4-drop in Avengers.
Yeah,
I actually don't know.
If you power them up, like in this format, you're probably not ready for that. All right, so we have a Pixie and a Miss Carter.
Pixie is going to get activated. The first card that.
Hope.
Yep, that was probably not the card that you wanted off of the Pixie. There.
Yeah. You don't really get any value off of that, right?
And it's just a 2/4 for the turn. No flight, no ranged. Just up front. Can't even stun the Hawkins. Man. I wonder if Cody's...
He says, she unfortunately does nothing for us.
I wonder if Cody's sitting here sad that he didn't play his Guardians deck. Because if he had, he would have team attackers with the Gamora. To get in there, get the level up on Gamora, and maybe even use Gamora's alternate win condition to win the game. Looks like Cody at this point is just right? Cody at this point looks like he's just off of the Gamora plan. He's just not going to level Gamora at all. Going to trade the Peggy Carter in for a Hawkins, which doesn't feel great. Trading a 3-drop, 2-drop. Trading a 2-drop for a 1-drop there.
Yeah.
When you're off dropping too, so there's been lines of plays from both characters at this point both players that I haven't loved.
We're dealing with some real characters.
This is true. You saw the player profiles.
All right, so we got turn 4 here for the old Black Hurricane. Let's see here. 4s, they got the 8/8,
they
have
Mac.
Mac.
I mean, I feel like Mac is the sweetest play here, or double minigun.
Yes,
that's also a sweet play
too because we killed the Hawkins.
Yeah, if he had not killed the Hawkins last turn, he only would have been able to play one of these, and puts 2 XP onto Lieutenant Ripley. Just one. I assume minigun's the only equipment in his deck, although it'd be cheeky if he fit in a couple pulse rifles as well.
You just run the random pulse rifles, but play them as face downs. If you don't play,
you're playing Prey, you have Lambert in the deck. So you could play the pulse rifles as long as Lambert's out, even if you don't get the Lieutenant Ripley.
That's fair. We're going to distribute some minus counters here.
It would be cheeky, but it would be awesome as well. And
right.
First wound on either character coming in turn number 4.
That's got to favor Cody, though. Because if he's looking to combo...
Yeah. The longer this game goes, the more it favors Cody. But...
Because we've seen Carter... We see the defender location, like we have to assume that
he's got the Valkyrie.
That has the Valkyrie.
And if he's got the Valkyrie, he's got 3 different yellows for it. Two Sanctum Simulacrums and one Academy. No, Midtown High. He's playing Midtown High, it's not Academy.
He's gonna be shooting so many bullets out of that machine gun. He's gonna look like the Punisher.
Well, speaking of bullets out of machine guns, there's another Agent Peggy Carter hitting the board, and looks like she wants to tussle with Blaine. And Death Trap.
I love Death Trap.
It's a great card, and when you're playing against a Prey deck, every single one of those face downs, you might as well just assume it's a Death Trap. Because your opponent's always got it.
More importantly, it saves the minigun.
It does.
We get more attacks with the minigun.
And that's 2 Peggy Carters down and 2 Black Widows down. Now, if he hits the Valkyrie, it doesn't matter where they're at as long as they're somewhere. But
all right, here's the old Mack truck. So that's going to go really well with the minus counters.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't stop the combo as long as he's got 2 in the graveyard. As long as he's got 2 Black Widows or 2 Icebands in the graveyard. If he only had 1, it would stop the combo, right?
Or no? Like you have to have 2 for the combo anyway.
Oh, okay.
It actually enables the combo if he only has 1.
True.
Because it comes into play against
That's
Dies.
right. I was thinking of it backwards.
So old Black Hurricane's helping out the
They're
whole
both
team.
helping out each other. You know, Cody's giving him minigun plays. He's giving him easier combos. It's just...
it's just pandemonium.
Yeah.
So we've got turn 6 for Cody.
Is this the Valkyrie turn? Does he run it out? I mean, Valkyrie's got 2 wounds.
Valkyrie's got 2 wounds.
And Prey don't have very many...
I don't know if they have... They have Dutch, who's lethal.
But he's a 7-drop.
And Cody went first. So this probably is the clear turn to play it.
It's a safe play. Plus you get the flying attack into either Blaine or Lieutenant Ripley.
I believe this one's going into Blaine.
Okay. He's checking for the death trap. Looks like it's a bait, though. Oh, the -1/-1 counter.
Okay, from the Mac.
Which means he can't swing into the Ripley. Ripley's got 5 butt? 5 health? Okay, yeah.
Some of these cards that aren't played as much, it's hard to remember some of their stats sometimes.
Very true. Get the recovery on.
Draw
he's going to draw first, then recover to draw the third card. Yep. Very good. Very good, Black Hurricane.
At least he does the sequencing.
Right,
like turn order.
Unlike me, who I'm just like, whatever. These are all happening at some point.
This is how we do things.
It's fine. I'm 0-1. I'm 1-0. That one.
Cody, on the other hand, is 0-1.
No, he is 0-1. And you know what? It'd be sad for Cody if he just loses again. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Listen, this Black Hurricane is really on my list right now. So, like, we're rooting. I'm impartial as a commentator.
Speaking of being on the list, a Harrigan side character who is just bonkers all around.
That dude is great.
He won me a game. Well, sort of.
Harrigan was the first ban.
Very true. Looks like we get another minigun attack into Valkyrie. That should be the only legal target for that ranged attack.
Which will
I don't believe it will
stun.
It will not stun, but it does put the 2+1/+1 counters on it. Interesting play. I wonder if he would go for here because he's not going to be able to take out the Valkyrie. No, he's going to attack into it. I was wondering if he might just leave the Valkyrie at as like a, what would that be, a 2-1?
Maybe you really need to get her off the board, right?
Yeah.
Like as fast as possible because she's changed. Like this is going to kill the Black Hurricane's board next turn.
True, but that's happening either way.
Yeah, that's fair. Unless we have that Dutch.
Unless we have the Dutch. Next turn would be the Dutch turn if it's going to happen.
So I guess my point was that, like, not stunning her.
Is that an Arcadia?
It is.
Is there A-Force in this deck, too? I mean, I guess you normally run Wasp in the deck. But
that's not an activated ability.
Yeah. What other A-Force characters could be in here?
I don't know.
Maybe he just like threw it in there, not realizing.
Oh, Pixie! He played Pixie.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so we're gonna combo out here. We got the Peggy Carter
making it rain. Bye minigun.
Yep. So even though Cody is down 3 wounds, I feel like he kind of has taken pretty strong control of the game. Although the Harrigan is going to cause problems for him next turn.
Yeah, because of the
he has abilities that cause him to strike double against both main characters and side characters.
Yep, and he can pay a yellow.
Ooh.
Oh, man. Speaking of yellow.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, he can pay a green to let another prey have that ability as well.
Right. So, Iron Man comes down for Cody, flipping over another resource, more fodder for the Valkyrie train. As you said before, Black Hurricane needs to get that Valkyrie off the board.
Yeah, I mean, you've kind of not locked the game down, but, like, man, you were close.
Yeah.
You were close to being like, all right, well, this game's over.
Yep. And, if he gets the Nightmare out of his deck.
Oh, he is playing the Nightmare.
He is playing the Nightmare. If he gets the Nightmare out of his deck, then the game's over essentially.
Yeah, so it's like then you're like, okay, you have 5 turns to live, or 4 turns to live at this point.
Yeah,
that's like you are on a clock.
Yep,
now.
you just gotta rip stuff off the top. Speaking of ripping stuff off the top, Black Hurricane has got the blue to activate Lieutenant Ripley's ability to go try to find...
Her ability's an Earth.
Oh, it's an Earth.
Yeah.
My bad. Well...
It's kind of hard to see with...
Yeah. Oh, but he has the keys.
Even better!
Yeah. So he does have the Earth. So top 5 cards, if one of them is a minigun, he will level. Oh! And he does. It looked like it was...
Does he have enough resource points? That's for the miniguns.
Minigun will be 2. So yeah, he should have enough. That will be a level 2 Lieutenant Ripley for the Black Hurricane.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Cutting it real
And he's
close.
got the red for the once per game ability.
It's true.
Is it going to be enough though? Like, can he get through to the...
Looks like it's going on Lieutenant Ripley. Looks like he's thinking about it. one place it'd be interesting to go.
Yep.
Nope. Looks like he's going on Lieutenant Ripley.
What were you gonna say?
One place it'd be interesting to go would be on like the Harrigan because he's attacking no matter what this turn. But whereas like I mean you have no wounds on Lieutenant Ripley, but
yeah, that's fair.
It could also give Harrigan the range to be able to sit in the back and strike double against all these characters.
We are going to use the red.
Use the red to put it on Harrigan. There we go.
All right, I like where this is going.
And Harrigan is going to get in. Oh, Harrigan is not going to get in.
Okay, going into Iron Man.
Oh,
right?
he is playing. He played He Couldn't See Me, not to hide him, but to give him stealth so that he can attack the back row Valkyrie and put -1/-1 counters on the entire front row.
It kills 2 of his 3 front row guys.
And weakens Iron Man significantly. And kills Valkyrie.
That's pretty good.
That was
Now, Cody doesn't have... Now, like we were saying, like, this is a real out for Black Hurricane.
Right.
Because he might not be able to... draw another Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't hit another Valkyrie this game...
I mean, you'd assume you run 4 in the deck.
Right.
But, I mean...
But, like,
sometimes you just don't draw it. Yeah.
Right? Like, we went from having a clock on the board to now we need to draw another Valkyrie to get back
even into the game. But if he does draw the other Valkyrie, he completely wipes Black Hurricane's board.
Powering up. Oh, I think I got Gamora's stats wrong earlier. She is a 2/5.
A 2/5, okay.
Yeah. Because he had to power up the keys to
be able to stun.
Yeah. So now Cody's down to 1 health.
Down to 1 health and needing a Valkyrie.
He needs something. Or an Iceman Singularity might do it.
Maybe.
Because then, like, the machine gun attacks get wasted.
There's the Valkyrie. So, machine gun, bring out the Peggy, machine gun down the board.
Yeah, he's just moving the counters. He's like, yeah, I know. These guys are gone. I get it.
Getting rid of both of the miniguns.
All your miniguns are dead. How many cards?
Second wound on Black Hurricane. It's Lieutenant Ripley.
And she's going to hide in the back. Hiding away. Yeah.
But there's one thing. Black Hurricane showed that He Couldn't See Me stealth play last turn.
Yeah.
If he's got
another one in his hand.
He can just
his stuff happens.
He could just win the game. He could just sneak right in there and stun the Gamora, assuming Cody doesn't have anything, and win the game.
But he's been playing all these defensive.
Yeah, I think he played a fine cover earlier.
Fine cover. He's got the. What's the other one? Think again.
Possibly has shocks in there as well. Although who knows?
I imagine that's like.
I mean, fine cover and shock are essentially the same card. You know.
Yeah.
So
maybe with this style deck,
maybe the shocks ended up in a different deck, so that's why the fine covers are here.
Yeah, I guess that was something I wasn't really thinking about. It was like multiple decks. Right? Yeah. All right, you got a yellow. What does the yellow do?
It allows Crystal to level. That's what the yellow does. That's probably the #1 reason that yellow's there.
Yeah, because the other thing it can do is like keys can let it freeze.
Keys freeze. All right, looks like Black Hurricane's thinking about what he wants to do. He should have 8 resources, I believe, because he had 7 on the last turn.
It looks like I said, I thought I saw he's kind of showing his hand a little bit to us. So I saw stuff happens. I saw He Couldn't See Me. He was flipping through it kind of fast.
Did you see a Harrigan or a?
There's a Lambert
and a Mac.
Okay.
I don't know if depending on what Cody's got, I think this is going to be enough to take it. The ranged attack into Agent Peggy Carter with a Think Again. Man.
Okay, this is great. That was a great attack.
Yeah, because there's only one Think Again left in the deck. Like you have to assume if he doesn't have another one, there's the stuff happens.
He has 1 card in his hand. If this is defensive plot,
scooping him up.
He doesn't have the defensive
Black Hurricane takes game 1. Almost feels like he stole it a little bit.
Because he kind of like had the lockdown.
Right.
It seemed like
the double He Couldn't See Me to give stealth instead of hide. But you know what?
Join us next time for game 2. We've got the Black Hurricane up 1 game against Cody, the Britches Malone, and we will see you guys next time.